physical classroom because the students last few weeks I observed the practical also. Therefore, only theory part we can cover. Today the participant here. I will do the one participant is there. Today we start for the array, learn array basic, declare array and perform the compile time initialization of array element, access element of an array, okay, become familiar with the method of the array classes. Array is the reference type. Therefore, that we can make that object, array as a object. Write the method that use the array as parameters. Okay, write the class that include the array as the member and use a define array object. Create the two-dimensional array. Include the rectangle and type. Two type of array is there. And use a multi-dimensional array. Okay, use the array list class to create the dynamic list. Then you can use the array in the function parameter, like a parameter also. Then you can give for many variable values continuously. That you can use the array. Learn about the predefined method, the string class. Be introduced to the other collection classes also. Work through the programming example that illustrate the chapter concept. Now array basic. Okay, data structure that may contain any number of variables. Okay, then you in the program I'll have the many variable declare. But if you declare the variable, you have to increase the number of coding. But the same data type of the variable you can make for that's the array. Use for the array. Okay, variable must be the same data type. If you want to create the array, that is the same data type. The single identifier given to entire structure. Then only one, the array name is the one single identifier. Give for entire structure. Individual variable are called the element. Then you could declare the array. For example, want to keep it the 10 value for that array. Then you can keep, okay, use the 10 elements are there. Then you can make for the element. Element access through the index. Okay, the index is start to 0 to up to last element number. Okay, the number of element is the, for example, 10, but the last index is the 1 minus, element number of element minus 1, that is a 9. Okay, index also called as a subscript, then we can use. Then we can start for that is the index also called as a subscript, that is a, you can use that index. First element is a 0, second element is 1, like then we can put it that. Okay, the element are sometimes referred to as the index of subscript. Okay, subscripted variable. Then you can use the x1, x2 like that. So you can use x0 like that's the first element, x0, 1, 2. Also you can use, otherwise you can use for the bracket. Okay, square bracket. That's it. Then array are object of the array system.array class. Already I mentioned the array is the reference type. Okay. Then you can array class include the method and property. Then array has the some method. Okay, copy method, clear method. Then properties. Then array has length, number of element want to find. Then you can use this array dot length. Okay, some properties are there. Index. The method for creating, manipulating, searching, and sorting array. Then you can sort the array ascending order, descending order. Okay, then copy array, manipulating, searching. You can insert some array inside the array. some are missing, like then want to insert the particular place, position, then you can use that as an array. Create an array in the same way you instantiate an object of the your user defined class. Use the new operator, then you can use create the array. Specify the number of individual elements. Now you can use a array declaration. The format for creating an array. This is a type. This is the data type of the array. Later also is the one-dimensional array. Then you can use the type. What is the data type? This is the integral value as an integer number of elements. Number of elements you are going to create. Now, how many arrays value element want to keep it? Then here is the one dimensional. If you put inside the one comma, here that's a two dimensional. If you three, you can create the many. Multi-dimensional also. Later I will explain. Some situation want to create for the multi-dimensional array. Type can be any predefined type. Like integer, string, or class, or object also you can create the array. Object also, some classes. If you have the many classes, then you can create that the class object is the array type. The integral value is the number of elements. That's a number of elements, the length of the array or size of the array. Can be constant, literal. That's the integer number. No, not used for the double. It's the integer number. Can be constant, literal, or variable also you can use. And expression that produce as a integral value. Now the score in 14, and we are going to show the 14 element. 14 score. That 14 is the number of elements. Then I already mentioned this is the index. Start 0, the last index. Then score. In the score is the integer type. Then 14 elements. Now you create that array. But idea we here not assign any value, but we only create that array. Int. Then contain. Create an array. This is the way. Now you can see. Array identifier name reference first element is this line. Score 0 is the located. The first index for array is a 0. Then this is the way we can identify for the first element as a score square bracket 0 and close that bracket. Then this is the first element. We can assign that to the contain the address of the element. First element. Then last element of the array is always referenced by an index with the value of the length of the array -1 or size of the array -1. Can declare any array without instantiate. The general form of the declaration is type identifier. In here we are int marks, but we didn't put any number of element, but we declare this is the way without this. In the score, this is a null array or reference type. Declare an array that has no value to reference. Declare of the array, but we don't know how many elements we are going to store. Then later we can give the number of elements. Okay. If you declare the array with no value to reference, the second step required to dimension the array. Okay, first you declare the array. After what, how many dimensions you want to like. Generally, they identify the second step, identify a new type integral value. Example, const in size 15, then string, last name, new string 25. Then you create the 25 element of this last name. Then we are going to store the last name in 25 last name in this array as a last name. Okay, is a cost 1000. Then we are going to keep it the 1000 values for that cost. Temperature, the size 15. That's a 15 we are going to give. Then score, int. Score equal, but here without number of element, first we declare the array and after we put that number of element. Second step. Okay, otherwise this array is the null, no any value. Okay, array initializer, the compile time initialization, general form of the initialization flow. Then the compile time also you can give that initialization. The type identifier equal new type, then square bracket. They are not mentioned any number of element in here, but in the curly bracket we can give the value of the element. Okay, then how many values you give here, then this take that number of element. Okay, so value n, like then we use here number of element is the n. Number of elements and number value n, like n times. Okay, this is the way also you can declare the variable array. What's the type? Identifier, that's the name of the array. New type, then square bracket. Okay, they are not mentioned any number of them. We can give the values. Then this is the first element. This is the second element. It's like we can refer for the array. Values are separated by the commas. Okay, all values are separated by the comma and put in the curly bracket. Value must be assigned. Okay, compatibility to the element type. Okay, then check the type is the data type is might be this value also. Otherwise error. Okay, implicit conversion from into double. Okay, then you put the int here, but for integer type, the data, sorry, array type, but you give the value is the double, like that's a in conflict. Declare and initialize the element in one steps. Okay, one step you can. Okay, array length determined by the number of initialization value placed inside the curly braces bracket. Here is example. Here is an int an array equal. Okay, here 4 elements are there. Okay, this is the one dimensional an array. There's a name of the array here, an array. These are the elements. Okay, this is the way also you can declare the array. Char is the character, new char. Okay, this is the way without this here char also, because if you hear integer type, but you are assigning the values integer, it's okay. Here char, new char. Without this one also, you can ABC, like then now is the this grade is the A, B, C, D, F. Okay. Anyway, you can declare the variable array type variable. Double depth, new double this way. Okay, in here, if you want like, but okay, if you mention in the 2 element, you must give the only 2 values. In here is the third one is the depth equal to double depth. It is the one dimensional, the square bracket, nothing is there inside the thing, then it's a one dimensional array. Depth equal new double 2 square bracket 2, then link is the number of element, no. But if you mention here, if you give the another number, that is a, if we add one number here, one for this, okay, exceed the number of index, like you mentioned, like that. No length specify is not required, but if you specify, then you have to give for the number of element. That okay. Now is the array initializer. Then here int array 100. Then this is the way is the array already mentioned. This is the array. First element is the 100. Second element is the 200. Then this is the way we can a square bracket 1 is the second element. This is the new character. Char. That's the grade. Then grade first is a 0. Is a character. That's a second element. It's a B, C, D. Okay. The method of the creating initialization at with the index enclose the square bracket. Okay. Score 0 is the first element equal 100. Then you can, if you use in any variable, if you use the square bracket, and then we understand this is the array type. Okay, length specify the property of the array class. Okay, that's the length is the property of the array class. Then you can last valid index is always length of the array minus 1. Okay. Array minus 1. Okay, then sometime the array was outside the bound of the arrays. Okay, someday you can give the more in on negative. Okay, the always the array index is the positive value, start with the 0 to number of element minus 1, the maximum length. Last element index is the number of element, okay, total number of element minus 1, or size of the array minus 1, or length of the array minus 1. Okay, later we will for this error handling also, that also important in our program. Okay, always the user unknown the so many errors. Therefore, we want to use that error handling also. Now create and use an array. We are going to create and use array. This is an example. Later we will do the time also. Again, I spend for the more time to do there also. Okay, I only explain, but we'll do the physical. Okay. Always it's the using system, then we can import the all classes system class system.window.forms. Okay, namespace are very different. Then we are going to use the form, then system.window.form. The class is the name of the class object name. This is average. If static void main method, we are using the console application. Okay. Here, inside that is a in total is a 0, double, average, and distance. That's the other two variables as a double. One total is the integer type. Then we are going to give for the 10 10 value for the score variable as array type. Int square bracket score equal new in 10. Then after we assign the value I entered this like any value you can enter. Okay, up to 10 values given here. Okay, as given here, 10 values I have given here. This is below here. Now we want to calculate the average. Then we want to add that all 10 values and divide by 10 times. Okay, then average CS value is the, we are using the for loop. Okay, we want to add the 10 numbers like first add the 10 number like, okay, add this number to second number, then after second number the total is there, then again third number, add that third number to that two numbers, that like we want to do that. Then we are using the for loop easy to make the calculation. For loop int I equals 0, that I less than score dot length. Okay, score dot length means the score is the name of the array. Dot length we can get the number is the 10. Then I start the 0, then up to 9 you can continue. Then total equal total plus score I. Then first add the first number, then second, like then we can 10 times we can add the number. Then average equal total divide by score dot length. Total divide by score dot length. Then okay, then directly you can put the 10, but if the number of element is changed, again you had to give change here also. But score dot length, then how many elements are there? Then it divide by that total numbers. Then average we can find. Console dot write line. Then we can get the output as average. Okay. Therefore, we are here is the average is the double. Okay, again we want to find for the difference. Okay, what is the difference with the array to that number? How much like? Then that's we call that's a distance. The distance equal mass dot ABS, absolute average minus score I. Okay, we calculate. But here we are using the abs mean. Okay, absolute value mean all are positive value. If you come for the results as a negative, okay, take that as a positive value. Okay, positive number. Okay, the value is a positive, not showing negative. Therefore, this is the absolute. Okay, later you can study this maths dot absolute ABS. Maths. Okay, this is the method. ABS is the method. Now you can use for the average also method. Square root, the mathematical function. Mathematical function, the method is the function. Mathematical is the square root. Absolute, sine. These are the under that maths classes. Under that subclass as a absolute method. Maths class. Okay, this is the simple example. We do that in physically. We start the lecture. We can do it. That is the array. Okay, quickly we can do it. Anyway, you can study this material also. Already I gave all material to you. Okay, but if you don't know the number of elements you need to store, then would ask user to count the number of entries and use that the size when you allocate the array. Okay, or otherwise you can give the more than that number. Okay, because we don't know now is I want to keep it that to your attendant. Okay, but I don't know sometime if you allocate for only 20. Okay, name of the attendant like, but now we used how many participants is there? Okay, 36 is there, 35. Then I can't keep it that your name. Therefore, you can give for the number of allocate array. Okay, you can allocate the array. Okay, in an approach, you create the array large enough to hold the any number of entries. Okay, then I expect you either 90 students are in class. Then we can create for that 100 element. Some others are empty or something, we can keep it. But I make for the 100. Okay, sometime if you some students are in future. Now it's a 90 students are there. Future is next semester. Some students are your senior batch students are batch missed to join your batch. Then we want to keep it that that students also. Therefore, we want to keep it the more than number of array. Okay, element number of element more than that. Like we can keep it. This is better. If you actually okay, we have some rules. Okay, only 90 students are in this batch. Not allow for the more than 90. Like then, so okay, we can keep it. That's a 90 element. Okay, we can keep it the 90. But no any restriction. Then you can make for the more than. Okay, that is the way you can create that array more than enough number of entries. Tell user to enter the predetermined central value after they enter the last value. Okay, then in the repetition we are using the while loop. That is the sentinel value. After you can stop because sometimes we don't know how many elements we are going to enter. Then sentinel values. The extremely extreme or dummy value if you want to stop that. Okay, using the for each with the array. Used to iterate through an array, then we can use for the read only. This is the read only access, not write, only read the element. This is a general format is there for each type identifier in expression. Okay, we don't know if you use the for each, it it go through the until end of the array. But we don't know how many arrays are there. But if you use the for each, this is the type. What is the type of the array in this identifier in expression? Okay, then you can see the statement. Okay, identifier is the iterate the variable. The expression in the array is the array. Okay, type should be matched with the array type. Okay, this is what is the array type. And now you can see here string colors red, green, blue. Okay, there are no any number of elements here, but we can see here 3 elements are there. Okay. And if you use the for each string in for each string val bl in color, this is the array in color, then values that you can use for the console.val, then we can get that the output as a red, green, blue. We can get that as a value as a color value. We can use that is a this is the array. This is a string type because already the same match that is the value is in here. We want to display this color array value. Then val is that you can use. But in here is the for each, that also you can use. There is a repetition. I mentioned this. If you use the for loop, here we are using the for loop. Number of time we want to calculate the distance something. Okay, already here we are using score dot length in the for loop. Okay, initial values. After that, maximum that how many time want to repeat. This is the increment. Okay. But in the for each, it is automatically take the number of elements, how many there is a color. If you like then that time want to repeat. This is the console.write line. 3 times want to repeat this, print the color, this value, color values. Then we use the for each. Okay, this is the syntax, is the type of the array, and this is the val we are using. That's any element val in color. Then that this val you can use here, then it print for the 3 colors. what other arrays elements are there, that thing we can. Okay, not in the here string type. If you use that integer or something, int or something here integer type, then you can use here as a int, val, int, that's the number of the name of the array, then you can get the output as that time. That's a for each. This also repetition. For loop, while loop, for each also you can use. That's a repeated loop, each loop iteration. Okay. The iteration variable val represent as a different array element with each loop iteration. Okay, no need to increment or counter for an index also. Okay, no, any index, anything. But in the previous that example, we wanted the index also. Here, use here, index is the I, score I. But there are no any increment for each. Sorry, for each. There are no any increment, no index, anything. And here you can. Okay, increment or a counter or for index also. No need to increment. As a loop, you can use the for each. This also repetition we can use. That's a loop for each. Okay, the array classes. Base array classes all language that target the common language runtime. Then you can use the more power is the available with the minimal programming. Now here is array. You can search the binary search any number, any element you can search where is the position. Okay, 6.8. You want to search the 6.8 values which position. Then it is returned for the display the 2, second, third element. Is the index is 2, that is the third element. Then this is the way we can have some method. Okay, in free time. Okay, now you have the more free time, you are in the home. Okay, you can do it. Again, I will do in the class also. Okay. Now you can do this one. By that. Okay, you can change that number or anything. Then you can analyze. This is the way you can study. You can study. Here is the search system array. That's the object value. What is the value? Here is the my index array dot binary search. This is the array water depth. This is the name of the array X. That's the my index X. Okay, my index is X. Then console index is the X. Here is X 6.8 something. Then my index you can find where is the position. This one want to do. Is the clear system array. Okay, int first index and int length number of. Then you going to clear the sum values. Okay, length of the go to the first index to go to the length of the position. It's a colon. Create a copy of the array. Now you can see here. Water depth, 3 elements are there. W is a new double 3. Number of elements are 3 element. Then you can copy the same value for that W. W is the double O. Object dot column. Water depth dot column mean copy. This one. Then W also now is the 3 elements are there. Okay, then you can use the copy method also. Copy. Then copy to array, because here is the column means the continuously the same array. You can copy to another array, create another array as a duplicate. That's a column. Column is a duplicate array. One array, copy to that same number of elements to other array. But this one is array dot copy. You can keep it. That is the array. Now you can see here array first index source. Then sister array, target array, first index of target array, length to copy. Then now you can keep it. Okay, we want to copy to this two element, last two elements. Okay, here three elements are total, three elements are last two elements. Then we can start for the, there's a find index source. Okay, first index source, first index source, first array and first index source we can use for the one. After length of the array, here is the length to copy 2. Then we can copy that is the 3.5 and 6.8. But now here is the array.copy water depth is a 0 index. First element want to copy to start to first element. We are to copy for the W is the new array W, and this again start 0 index up to 3 number of elements are 3. Okay, length to copy the first index target. Okay, this is the method. Then you can memorize this line. This is the format. Sister array is the first array name. Okay, array name. Then first index source. That's an integer type which starts the first element to that index. This is the target array. There's a W here, so we create the new array W. And target index, first index target. Okay, someday you can assign both. This is the second element, want to keep it like, then you can use 2. Now you can increase the number of arrays, 4. Here is a number of arrays of 4. Then you can keep it. Okay, first is the empty like, then second up to 3. Up to another 3 element. That's a copy. Okay, this is the way index. Okay, the index method you can display that is a particular array is there or not. Okay, I is the array.index water length 3.5. Then consider dry line I, then you can get that as a 1. Okay, this is the first index. If you return -1, there are no value. Okay, then index of. Already we study for the index of method in the string. We can check any particular character or number of words. Okay, particular characters or word inside the text or string, text or string, then index of. That's the way. If you get that value is the 1, okay, then there is the index, the particular strings are there. If you -1 is there are no index. This is all the same. Here is a display 1, return -1, there are no value found in the array, not found in the array, -1. Okay, last index. We can find what is the last index object value. Okay, we can find that last index of there's a 2.4 where I, that's the third one. Fourth element. Okay, reverse. Already the array is there, but that is not in the ascending order and descending order. This is the reverse. You can start for the last element first and before last element second. That's like one, like you can reverse order. That also possible. That's a method is there. Then set value, you can put some in there. Okay, values. Set value inside that array. Okay, that's the index location. Which location want to put the new value? Already array is there. Huh? Okay, for want to here is the 50 and 0. Then first element want to change for the 2.4 to okay instead of the 15. Sorry, 55. Then it change here 55, 3.5, 6.8. That also you can short. Okay, then sir, usually short for that is the ascending order. 3.5, 6.8, 12.6. Okay, array as a method parameter can send the array as an argument to method. Okay, the heading for the method that include the array as a parameter. Okay, this here is the modify, return, type, and identify. This is the method, this is the function. The function type also inside the parameter, you can pass the array also. then you can pass the number of element values. Without array, only pass only one values. But in here is the array type. Then you can number of value you can pass. Many more than one number of value you can pass. More than one. Okay. This is a modify. This is the private also. So like then return type. That's an integer type. Identify the name of the function. This is the type. Here int array square bracket is a one dimensional array name. Array identifier. Okay, open and close the square bracket are required. There's a thing, if you without that thing, that is a only normal variable. Parameter as a normal variable. But if you use the square bracket, then you can identify that is the array type of the parameter. Array type. Okay, length or size of the array is not included here. Okay, but if you call that method, then you create some array, something, then that take the number of elements. Okay, example, void display array content double and array. Void display array content. This is the name of the function or method. This is a double type and array. Okay, passed by the reference also. Array as a reference variable. Then no copy is made on the content. Array identifier memory location does not contain any values, but rather than the address for the first element. Okay, there are no any memory location does not contain the value, but that address is the first element. It is the location, is the first element address. Actual call to the method send to the address. Call does not include the array size. Okay, call does not include the square bracket also. That example here, display array content, water depth. Okay, water depth, this is the path the reference type. Now you can see here, this is the example. Public cons string caption, this is the string type, static void depth. Okay, water depth, we assign that. Okay, 8 elements are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 elements. Sorry. 9 elements are there. Now you can see here double W. Okay, this was array type is a 20. Okay, number of elements is a 20. Okay, display output water depth. Display output water depth array. Okay, copy value to from that is the array dot copy water depth 22. That's starting 2 and W 0 to 5 element. Okay, it is the array copy. Array dot short. You can show that array after that copy. Display output W array that. Then we display the output here. W is the array type. Display output as a array type. Okay, reverse the element. Reverse. Then we can see here the display output W array. And here the function is come here. Publish static void. Publish void. Display output double and array. String message also. This is the array type. Okay, array type. But in the method is mentioned for the array type. Method mentioned for the array type. But here you call the function here. Display output W. This is the array type. But here not any mention for the number of elements. But if you the W is the how many elements? 5 elements are there. 5 elements already copied. 5 elements. Okay, 5 elements are there. Then then you can get the output as for each double okay value as an array. Okay, if greater than 0, then message you can display the message in the message box. Okay, then we can get this water depth array is all elements are here. 9 elements are there. That is we are copy for the W array to water. 5 element is start for the third. Okay, third element. Okay, but here is a shorter. Up to 5 elements we are going to copy. Okay, start the third element, the 2. 2, 16.8, 190.58, 512. Okay, now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then sorting mean 0.8 to 16.8, 190. Then reverse order. That also we have other function. Here is a reverse order. 3. Okay. 3 calculation is there. Here is the array copy to array. Array dot copy. One array is there. Depth is the 9 elements are there. But copy for that water depth to second index. Index is the second, the third element up to 5 element to that. Okay, 5 element in the W this array. Okay, W is the one of the array. This array up to 5 element. Okay, the index, the third element from third element to 5 values. After 5 values up to 8. Okay. Then other one is the short. After copy, then want to short for the minimum to maximum values. Then after that reverse order. Okay, this is the function we call for the display that output. Okay, okay. Then that is a reverse order. Reverse order. Okay. Okay, we will do that in class. Input value in an array. Okay, you can pass that value, input value as in temp. That's array type. Array type. Input value. This is the name of the function. Publish static void. Name of the function. That is the parameter as a array type. Then inside here we use a for loop. Then string in value. Look, that's the thing we can get. What is the temperature like? Then we can continue that number of length, temp dot length, or to continue number of array. Okay. Okay, I skip this one. Array assignment operator does not work as you would think. Now it's assign the okay operand contain the same address as the operand on the right of the equal symbol. Okay, you can use this is the temperature T. T44 is the first element. So, sorry, second element is the index is 1 as the second element. Okay, assign that array to reference another array. Temperature is there T. Then you can assign T is the temperature. Another array line. T is the temperature. Then the same array is copy like. Okay, assign the some variable to another variable equal like, then the same, but if the value is there, then automatically go to there. Okay. The parameter array. Keep word param used to appear formal parameter list. Must be last parameter list in the method heading also. Okay, that's a thing you can see that is a parameter array. This is the parameter. This is the what is the one of the method name or function name. This is the parameter. We call this inside the argument list. We call this a parameter. This is the parameter. Okay, indicate the number of arguments to the method that may vary. Sometimes it's a parallel array. 2 or more array that have the relationship. Array classes. Array can be used as a field of instant variable in the classes. Okay, base type is declared with other field, but the space is the allocate when the object of the class. Okay. Okay, a class is instantiated. Then example of field declaration, private int as a point score. Then space allocated in the constructor. Point score equal new in some integer value. Some integer value. Array of user defined object. Okay, create just like you create the array of free defined type. Example, console.write in value, then play. Okay, player content. Okay, player content. Then we can use that array as a object. Okay, player as a team member, new player, player content. Now it's a team members. Number of members are there. Player. Okay, player is the one of the object. Type is the object type. Okay, because each player has that the name, age, some scoring, how many matches. There's a details are there. There's a we call there's a player. Then player, this the name of the array is a team member, but the player is an object. There's a predefined type. The player playing. This is the way also you can. Then you can consider for the only for array type is the integer or string type or something. Now you can keep it that's the predefined type. Okay, because that's the array is the object. Array as a return type. Method have to array as a their return type. Public static int get score. This is the return type. Then array type, then return the array value. Previous only return the one values. Now is we can get the array type. Get score int is the array type. Public static int get score define game content. Okay, example call to the method. In point new in 1000. Okay, there's in points are there. Points is get score. Then we can get that how many goals are the points are there for each player or something. The games. That's the array type because that is the points is the array type. Then get score means the return the value is the array type number. Okay, more than one value you can get the results. Okay, method would include the return statement with the an array. Okay, this is also possible. Array type, return type is array type. Array type is a you get the return type value is one more than one value. Okay, previously we studied some function. Return type is the only one values, but here we can get the many values. Play apps, use of the array. Play app, use of the array. The team members. The team members 0, 1, 2 like. Then each number, each player has a name, ID, game content, average, point score. Something there is their detail. Then I already mentioned there's a team members as there's the another details are there. Object as a player. Now we come for the two-dimensional array. Okay, before we discuss only one-dimensional array is the one. Two-dimensional array is the table type. Two-dimensional and other multi-dimensional array follows same guidelines as one-dimensional array. Same guideline mean if declaration is as okay, syntax is same, but it's the inside the declaration little different. I already mentioned. The two kind of two-dimensional arrays there. One is the rectangular type. Rectangular type means it visualizes as a table divided into the row and column. Rectangular type is the each row has a same number of elements. The column is there. Okay, for example, 3 rows and 5 columns. Then each row has a 5 element, totally 50. But if the jack or rec array is the reference much like your that is the difference. Inside they have the another array. Okay, array has that inside also they have another array. That is the jack array. Okay, data store is up to major format in the C#, row major language. Now is the two-dimensional array is represent this slide. Okay. We will come for the jack array. And this is the rectangular array. Is the rectangular array via array. Okay, this is the calorie consumed for the 7 days. This is a two-dimension because 3 times foods and 7 days. This is a two-dimension. Is the 3 lunch, dinner, food time is the breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This is very constant. This is Saturday, Sunday. This is a day. Is the rows. Each row has 3 values. Each row has the 3 values. Okay, this situation now is the sometime you want to get your attendance. It's morning and afternoon. Attend the class, morning and afternoon. Then you only need for the 2 dimensions. Same day, you have the 2 times to attend the class, morning and afternoon. Okay. Then to keep it that for some person, they are 24 hours, or they have to work. They have to work 24 hours. There are 3 shifts there. 3 shifts. There. Then you can see there in the then this is morning shift and afternoon shift and night shift. For some other manufacturing companies before working. Then they want to keep their details, working number of workers details for the every day. Then they need for the 2-dimensional array. 1-dimensional not enough. Then this way. Okay, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, up to 7 days is the 3-time meals. This is some example. Now you can see the declare format. Is the type. This with the square bracket, 1 comma is there. 1 comma. Identify a new type. That's a 2 value and okay, this is the row and this is the column. First is the row and column. Now you can see the 7 days. So if the column is a 3 times foods. Now this is the first. Then we can assign 2 integrate. Okay, integral value are equal to 2-dimensional array. Number of rows is first. Okay, the value placed in the array must be of the same base type. Example, create 73 matrix. Already you study in the mathematics also. This like we can keep. Okay, you can see int color is new int 7,3. Then you have 7 rows and 3 columns. 3 columns. Then this time we are going to store the value. Okay, calorie 0, 1, 0, 0 is the first row and first column. First row and first column. And 300 second row and column. 1, 0. Calorie 1, 0 is the real value you want to get. Here's the calorie 700. 700 in here. Okay. Then this is the second, third row, second column. The 700. This is the way you can prefer the array element. Okay, this is a two-dimensional. Okay, length property get total number of elements is the you can get is the total number of elements. Okay, this is the name of the array dot length. Then you get length. Okay, length property also return the column and rows. Get length. Get 0. The number of row. Okay, array is division. First is the row and second is the length number of row. It's the one is the number of column. Number of row and number of column is the two-dimensional. Okay, length is the number of row is the 0, the first and second is the okay index. Because if you declare the variable array, two-dimensional array is the first. Okay, this is the first index, this is the second. Therefore, that. Like, then you can get that length and number of column, number of row also we can get. Now, this is a rank. Rank mean is the dimension. Rank is the dimension of the array. Two-dimensional array. Two-dimensional array. Now we come for the jack array. Rectangle array always has the shape. Like I said, array is the array of array inside. Okay, in array, this here you can see this is the declaration is a different. This is a separate pair of two square bracket. Array of array. Okay, array first line, second like this. Okay, array inside the array. Okay, inside the array. That's the jack array. You can see here. Array inside the array. Array of array. Here is the 4 elements. Is the 4 elements there in the first array. Inside that array has some other number of elements. Here's a 2. But this is not same number. Here is a 2 element. Here 3. Again 5. Again 4. That's still like. But in the rectangle is always the table is equal, or each row has the same number of elements. Number of columns is the same. But the jack array is a bit different. Some situation want to need this array, and then we can use for the jack array also. Okay, but usually we are using the rectangle array. Now it's the multi-dimensional array. Limit only by your imagination as the number dimension you can increase. Okay, format for the three-dimensional. That is the two separate common separators here. Then you can keep it as 3 value like this. There's a 3 integral value. There's a 3. And here is an example. Color is keep it for 1 month. Previous 7 days, 1 week, 7 months, 4 weeks. With 7 days, 3 weeks. Okay, this way we can keep it. There is a multi-dimensional array, is a 3-dimensional array. Three-dimensional array. Now you can see this is the 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. That's a second row, second column. So here that is a second set, this one, and second row. Okay, then 2, the third column, 2 and 2005. This is a 2. 1, 1, 2. Okay, this is a 2005. This. Then this way you have to refer the element. This is 3 dimension. Then you can increase the things for the 4th dimension. And now is the month. Okay, every month. Then every year. Every year you can increase. Every year. Sometime if you add that, want to use the position of the planet or satellite. Then if it's today is the time. Okay, today is the date and time is there. That position is the 3-dimensional is there. X, Y, and height. Which position is there? Like that is longitudinal and height. This is the position. Like then that is then another variable is the 4th dimensional as the time. Okay, sometimes your X, Y, Z coordinate, you already know the X, Y, Z coordinates, the 3-dimensional. You can increase, okay, include the another dimension as time factor. Particular time, particular position is there. In 2 hours is certain position. Then you can make that the time. That's the English the dimensional array. Okay, dimension you can imagine if you're 4, 5, 6. Okay, some are studying in the multimedia students. Then you can keep it that some variable, that color separation, position, something like that. So you can imagine your dimension, number of array. And then you can, okay, increase the number of array also. Okay, now I am going to stop. Then I will send to the link Friday, it's possible or something. It is possible tomorrow I will send the link, or otherwise no class for the Friday. Sometimes we have some meeting is there. It is possible I will send, otherwise we will meet for the next Wednesday. Next Wednesday also not possible. I will leave that day. Okay, I will inform through the mail next class. Okay, only I can cover to the theory part. Practical part we can do the physical environment. Okay, student, thank you. Now I will stop.
Thank you, sir.